How does probate work for an intestate estate? Imagine losing a loved one and then facing a complicated process to settle their estate without a will. That's what happens when someone dies without leaving a valid will. Their estate is called intestate, and the law steps in to decide what happens next. When someone dies intestate, the first step is filing a petition to open probate. Usually, a close family member or interested party files this petition with the probate court in the county where the person lived. This begins the legal process of managing the estate. Since there is no will to name who gets what, the court has to find out who the legal heirs are. It does this based on state laws, which prioritize certain relatives like a surviving spouse, children, parents, or siblings. The court then appoints an administrator to handle the estate. Because there is no will, the court chooses someone, often a family member, to act as the personal representative. This person has to take an oath to do their job honestly and may need to post a bond to protect the estate. Next, the administrator must locate all the estate's assets. This includes real estate, bank accounts, investments, personal belongings, and anything of value. They create an inventory and get appraisals to determine the worth of each item. Once assets are identified, the administrator notifies creditors and publishes a notice to let anyone with claims come forward. Known creditors are contacted directly, and claims are reviewed. The administrator then pays valid debts, such as funeral expenses, taxes, and other liabilities from the estate's funds. After debts are settled, the remaining assets are distributed to the heirs according to state laws. For example, if there is a surviving spouse and children, the estate is divided among them based on statutory shares. If minor children are involved, their inheritance might be placed in trust until they reach a certain age. Finally, the administrator prepares a final accounting showing all transactions, payments, and distributions. The court reviews and approves this report. Once everything is settled and any disputes are resolved, the probate case is closed. Probate for an intestate estate can take longer and be more complicated than, with a will, because the court has to identify heirs and appoint someone to manage the estate. This process can delay distributing assets and sometimes lead to disagreements among family members. That's why creating a clear estate plan with a will or trust can help avoid these complications. In short, when someone dies without a will, the court follows legal steps to identify heirs, appoint an administrator, manage the assets, pay debts, and distribute the estate fairly, all under court supervision.